Alana, I do want to add before we go out to our reporters that, I saw the name, the Desimone Levy. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right, so forgive me on that. But that's what breached. And when I looked it up really quickly here, it says it's located in Tukwila along the right bank of the Green River, and it stretches between Tukwila and all the way to Kent. So it is a long area, and that levee was put in place in the past, of course, to try to keep urban flooding from happening in the Kent Valley area. So we understand that reporter Shira Matsuzawa, as soon as this story broke, you booked it out there. Shira, I don't know if you can hear me yet, but if you can show us what you're seeing out there. I understand you're in Kent right now.
Yeah, Hannah, we're actually making our way toward Green River so we can get a better picture of it all for you and see what that damage looks like right now. Because as you mentioned, we were talking about the National Weather Service. They're saying more than 46,000 people could be impacted by this potentially. Now, I'm going to show you exactly what we're seeing because as you can see, we're still making our way out there. This is a look at the traffic. It's moving very slowly at this point right now. It's kind of taking us a lot of time to get there, but we are making our way there. As we've been driving though, we have been seeing some road closures throughout this area. Just a minute ago we passed one right now too, but again, people are on high alert because of this levee that has failed in that area at the Green River. Again, more than 46,000 people could be potentially impacted as those life-threatening flash flooding is happening now possible. We're talking about areas in Kent, Renton, as well as Tukwila. They're saying that people who live east of the Green River in the Aurelia area in Tukwila, Renton, and Kent are all now under the level 3 go now evacuation notice. And so they're urging folks to really go north or south and just really move immediately to higher ground. They're saying that 2 schools and 1 hospital could also be potentially impacted by those flash floods. But again, more than 46,000 people, a lot of people in this area now potentially could be impacted by this. But as you can see, we're still on the roads. We're making our way there. And of course, we will continue to update you as we learn more and as we make our way to that area where we're seeing the damage right now. I'll send it back to you.
Okay, Shira, thank you so much for your time and reporting there and giving us kind of that visual. I know you're on the way to it, and you will remain safe out there as we go. I do want to define something that Alona said. This is a flash flooding warning, and usually when you hear that, you think of something, a heavy downpours over the last 6 hours and rapid moving rivers because of maybe snow melt or something that it's caused it like a dam failure moving pretty quick. This is a levee that broke, so it's not as fast moving, but again, it is moving, and that's why there's a flash flood warning. But usually we get that snow melt in the early spring that pushes our rivers up above their levels, and they start to rise. And as we've seen over the last, 72 hours and even longer, those rivers were flowing at a pace that maybe they're running around 3 to 5 miles an hour, picked up to 10 to 12, 15 miles an hour during our rain events. Alona says we are going to be getting more rain, of course, out there, and it's been coming more sporadically. We did get a bit of a break over the weekend, and that did help. But I think that there is so much pressure on our levees and our dams and waterways that the release of water is imminent. Where it's going to go, that's why we're seeing this flash flooding right now happen. And Hannah, you can see the city of Renton is posting. Yeah, the city of Renton posting this is something we've been saying to you in the past hour, but I'm going to read this with you. The National Weather Service has issued a flash flood warning for King County, and they say it's going to go on until 9 p.m. As we say, this is going to be a long-lasting situation, and they're saying if you are in a low-lying area, you need to go to high ground right now. Do not wait. 45,000 is what Shira was talking about, the potential impacts that those people, right now are probably on the move. Hopefully, we have that 2 schools and 1 hospital. We're trying to figure out, right now as we speak, which hospital that is. We're calling around or trying to figure out what schools are impacted right now. But of course, if you live in Renton, Kent, Tukwila, you need to be on high alert to make sure that if you are near the Green River, specifically the Desimone Levee, which has breached, that's what the National Weather Service and other experts are saying, that the Desimone Levee has breached, and that levee is in place all the way from Renton, Kent to Tukwila.
So it's from Kent to Tukwila. That's where that levee is, and that's where it breached somewhere along that line, causing this emergency. So we are going to continue to track this, Erin. I mean, if you have loved ones in those cities, you need to tell them to move quickly.
Yeah, and we are looking up some of those area hospitals, maybe Virginia Mason Medical Center near there. We'll see which medical center they are talking about, and some of those schools. Those will be up shortly. I've been looking on the homepage to see what schools and cancellations, but as you can imagine, they're having a hard time probably keeping up with everything else. Has been 2 hours delayed, or no school or services online through Zoom because of the kids there. But again, this is a flash flood warning in the area down south between Tukwila and Kent, and we are watching those levees, and all of them have pressure on them, as Alona said. And if it wasn't for the berm and the wall, the ground's so saturated that something broke. Emergency shelters are available, and AJ Janavel has been on our Fox Local Live desk telling us about the Auburn Community and Event Center. That's one place you can go. Also, the Ray of Hope Shelter in Auburn and the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe. Let's go touch base again with AJ Janavel, who's got some more information on this flash flood warning that's in place.
Yeah, and Erin, I am kind of just looking through social medias, specifically X, or formerly Twitter, starting to see some of at least what is being posted as the impacts of this flooding. So I'm working to get confirmation, number one, to make sure that's actually happening, especially with social media. Anyone can put anything up. And then two, see if we can talk to any of these people who are out there. I know Shira is on the ground as well, but at least from what I'm seeing, if it does end up being actually the impacts of what we are talking about, it is some pretty shocking pictures and video. So let's get to what people need to know. If you are in the areas around the Green River where this breach is happening at this levee, you are being asked to leave right now. There is a go now order in effect, which means there is an immediate and imminent danger to your life, requiring you to leave the area right away without delay. That is something that we cannot stress enough. Now, this is a difficult ask to do at 12, or rather 1 o'clock on a Monday, especially with kids still in school, trying to coordinate what that looks like, what that means, especially if you haven't had to deal with this in a while. This is not something that we normally see. As far as weather impacts, I know that December and the wet weather does have the effects, but to have these areas so drastically impacted by this storm is not the norm. This isn't something that we deal with every year. So the folks in Tukwila, Renton, and Kent, if you need to find a place to go, there are shelters available. This is from King County Emergency. Number one, you have two in Auburn, Auburn Community and Event Center, as well as Ray of Hope Shelter. Both of them, those locations are providing shelter for folks who are in need. You can see the names of these spots right here now on screen. That first one, the Auburn Community and Event Center, is located on 9th Street Southeast. That second one, the Ray of Hope Shelter, is located on Auburn Way North. We have more information on Fox 13 Seattle. If this impacts you, if this impacts someone that you know, please send them to our website, to our webpage. We are not just on air, but we are streaming as well. Finally, that final one that you just saw there, the Evergreen State Fairgrounds, that is up in Monroe. This one is listed as being open for 24 hours. And again, something for our area that I think is so vital is it says explicitly that pets are welcome. So if you know someone who is impacted by this warning and the effects of what we're seeing right now, please send them this information. Those shelters are available. And again, it's a hard ask. It is a tough thing to say, leave your home, but that is what officials are asking. They are using the word that this could be life-threatening flooding. So as difficult as it is a decision to leave your home, the alternative is so much worse. And again, something to note, it might seem obvious, but if you are leaving or you're just trying to get home or to higher ground, be aware of how quick this storm could move, the floodwaters rather could move, because a road that might only have a few inches of floodwater could see a foot or more as fast as this flooding seems to be from these officials. They're asking that if you are driving, do not drive through floodwaters. If you are walking, do not walk through floodwaters. I know it might seem Like, there's not a lot of water there. It might seem like something you can do easy, but we so unfortunately report time and time again on situations where it goes south quickly. So be careful, be safe. We'll have all of the information on fox13seattle.com if you need to see any of those addresses for the shelter. For now, I will send it back to you.